Yes, indeed, it's Politics Today on Channels Television, and well, in focus today on the program is the governorship election in Edo State that held at the weekend. Well, maybe just 24 hours gone, but then it's still reverberating all across the country. All's well that ends well, that is. Well, then, it's not a one-man show, because I'm being joined at the moment by, well, two gentlemen who will be dissecting the issues. We'll be taking a look at the matters arising from the governorship election in Edo State. Well, on my immediate right, I have a legal practitioner and also the president of the Voters Awareness Initiative. He is Mr. Wale Ogwade. I mean, he's actually a known face on the program. Mr. Ogwade, glad to have you join us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, of course, we know that you were in the thick of the action, but we will be coming to that. And also, looking at the political angle of things, is a political scientist and inevitably a lecturer in the political science department of the University of Lagos, Mr. Dele Ashiru.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, gentlemen, the elections in Edo State, the governorship elections have come and gone. Well, at least we had no reports of violence, but unfortunately, we also had the report that a canoe, or should I say a boat, conveying election materials and electoral officers and security officials capsized somewhere, and 3 policemen lost their lives, as well as an INEC ad hoc staff. A very tragic incident indeed, but probably that was the dampener as far as the cost of human life in the whole exercise is concerned. Well, should INEC be giving themselves a pat on the back? Let's start with Mr. Ashiru.
Well, I think we should commiserate with those who lost loved ones in that tragic incident which Charles just told us about. Having said that, let me say that there are no perfect elections anywhere in the world, and particularly in Nigeria, we will be talking about elections in comparative terms. Having said that, I think with the way the elections have gone thus far, one can give INEC some pass mark, some pass mark, at least if compared with, I mean, the kind of elections that we are witnessing in Nigeria in recent past, especially under Maurice Iwu. One would most likely be inclined to say that, well, INEC under Jega had done creditably well.
Very interesting indeed. Well, gentlemen, I'm sure you listened to the Governor Adams Oshiomhole's outburst earlier on, where he actually almost, or probably even directly, accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of conniving with the People's Democratic Party to rig the elections. And, you know, I did remark that he probably was counting his chickens before they hatched. Well, the People's Democratic Party actually responded in an expected manner. They said, well, the governor was reacting hastily even before the polling had even started. And they said, well, probably he has read the handwriting on the wall, indicating his eventual defeat, and that's why he was making a lot of noise, the way they put it. But Mr. Ogwade, the criticism of the Independent National Electoral Commission from Governor Oshiomhole, was it justified in the long run?
Well, it's justified.
Oh, really?
You say it's justified because obviously looking at Edo State, the total number of votes cast you find out definitely was very low, because no doubt I saw many people who went back, who were angry that they were not able to get accredited on time. And unfortunately, when we look at it, that Benin, I was in Edo local government most of the time, excuse me, and that's the headquarters local government, that's in Benin city itself.
That's right.
And it's quite near the ring road. And of course, there's a place called Oropata Hall, that is near the Oba's Palace,
okay.
There's the Oba's Market. Police were at 9:30, there was nothing there. In fact, Marvel Akboibo came and met our group there. and ran around. I guess they too were trying to monitor events there. And it's quite shocking that indeed, if materials did not get to this center, the city center, and thrown through from the local government headquarters,
yes,
then you know, and you can imagine what will be happening in the rural area. We'll call it the ferry of the ferry. So, if the ferry of the ferry, if the center of the center has problems, then definitely what will be the fate of the ferry? And to test it, fortunately, Oshiomhole was in the ferry because his place is close to 3 hours journey.
Well,
from Benin.
You're talking about Oshiomhole being at the ferry of the ferry, to use your own words. But then, I mean, at the Garrick Memorial Primary School in Benin City itself, where one of the candidates, in fact, Oshiomole's closest rival, retired General Charles Ariavere, was to have voted, they had a lot of problems there too, the late arrival of voting materials. So if fingers were now pointing to the direction of the People's Democratic Party, then of course their own candidate was kind of negatively affected as well.
I'm not pointing fingers at the People's Democratic Party. You see, mine is about the operation, the logistics, and the preparedness of INEC. Because to me it was quite interesting, because I've monitored election in Nigeria. I mean, a place like Adamawa State, a very long terrain, very large state, but 18 local governments, and they are choked close to each other. One will expect that all these things will be. And fortunately, I was part of those that held a pre-election workshop for members of the civil societies in Enugu. And of course, we raised some issues that these things can be corrected before the elections, which we are not. And one of it is the fundamental thing is the movement of non-sensitive electoral materials to electoral points before the D-Day. So that on election day, they'll just pick the sensitive one in a handbag and they jump on an Okada if need be, because of the timeliness and importance of that thing. Not that it's on that day that they will start looking for where is the indelible ink, where is the ballot paper, ballot box, where is the cubicle that they will use in voting and so on. All these things can be there 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the election day, so that it will now reduce the stress on that day. You just know that the man is picking a simple bag and off he goes. Those are what we are trying to say. Then, of course, let us remove some elements of bureaucracy, because from the state headquarters, we found out that materials got to the local government headquarters, quite right, but now taking them from the local government to the ward, and from the to the ward and to the various polling centers, we now had problems.